Hello everybody, this is the Circadian Alpha clone, and I'm going to show you some of the probing mechanics and hacking if we find the hacking site. For this purpose I'm going to use the old probe launcher scanner. I really don't like the new one. Still, yeah, I haven't got used to it, CCP, and it's just the color coding of what you get just lines, and I find it quite disturbing why the old one with full colors and everything is just much better and effective, if you can say that. So I'm gonna close this one and disable it. I just opened it up just now to show you how to do it. You can stop it, check out where it was. So I'm gonna probe in the beautiful Astero, which is cloaked at the moment. I'm gonna uncloak for those of you who have not seen it. This is the cloaking technique. You will become invisible to everything, kind of. And the mechanics are still the same. I'm gonna launch my probes independent of how strong my skills are. The technique and mechanics are still the same. So the probes are out. I'm gonna hit F10 for the planetary view. You can use the spread formation to check the whole system. I usually find it less useful than just starting with pinpoint right away. So I'm gonna use the pinpoint formation. I'll drag the cube kind of center of everything and just click on one of the bubbles, drag it big enough that it encompasses all that I can see. Hit once for the first scan, and if you're on hostile territory you want to cloak up right away. So the scanning is a bit quicker since I have like I think a maximum skills. So I'll do the combat side later. I might run it actually. You can exclude the result now if you want to, but the list is kind of small anyway, so I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna move it one smaller for greater strength, probe strength. This is probably what everybody should do that doesn't have really good skills and the Sisters of Eve, because of the deviation. I can always do 2 steps. Gonna probe again, now at 4 AU probe strength. And I already have a filter set, which means it will exclude all wormhole signatures and they will automatically disappear. Nice, 2 haunted yards. These are combat sites and I'm definitely gonna run those. I love running drone sites, rogue drones. I find the commanders very tasty. They sometimes give me nice presents. And I can run all of those high-sec sites with the Astero. It doesn't have much DPS, just 100 something, 117, but it still performs quite well because it's fast and small. So you signature and signature tank. Was the wrong one? Seemingly, sometimes you get. Yeah, because I already was smaller. Now it was probably a deviation that it was outside my small bubbles. So I'm just gonna have to make them a little bit bigger. Number 2 on the first hit was really good. And there we have a data site. So this is the one we want to have at the moment. I'm just gonna move the cube. You can move the arrows, but I find it very disturbing using the arrows all the time. I only use it for very small probing. When the signal is really weak. I can show this to you in a moment. Once I got this and be on my way. So it goes from 26% straight to 100 because I have good skills. So I'm gonna warp to it while I show you what you can do if this signature would be very, very weak, like for some of the sleeper cache. If you're gonna move, oops, direct the wrong one. If you're already at minimum, which is 0.25 for normal probes and 0.5 for combat probes. I'm not sure why I'm probing again. I already have the signal. Just gonna lock up and move closer to it. So if let's say this would be 95% and really tight. I'm already on center, but the signal would be still like 95% or something. I need to get even closer. What you can do is you move in with your zoom, you hit the Alt key, and then you can drag the probes even tighter and adjust for tiny deviations and probe again. And sometimes you get like 3 different ones, and sometimes you move a little bit away from 98 to 97.8 or something, and you move a tiny bit back, and you can almost, even with, if your skills are not perfect, you can still get 100% if you manage to get lucky this way by triangulating it in your mind, kind of. So, and you can pull them even so close that they will look like one bubble afterwards. You can see this now. They're all overlapping perfectly, or almost perfectly. I can draw them even closer, but of course it's not necessary now. But you can get, I've been scanning for like some of the sleeper caches like for 20 minutes, and I got it in the end, always around 98%, or even had 99.7%. And yeah, it is possible. So I'm going to close the window. I'm going to finish the probing later afterwards. But you can, for instance, to fix these, throw them back out. Sometimes it's a problem. You just hit the pinpoint again, and it will automatically go to a standard size. So then it's easier to move it again and probe for the rest. So I can probe this in the background. I'm going to hit F10 again if you want to see some visuals. So I already locked this up and moved to this shade. It's the data side, so I hit the data analyzer. And you can see now the mini game, which is a bit bigger than in the tutorials, but yeah, I'm going to do it slow now, like 2. It means that one assisting module or possible assisting module is in the range of 2, still by 2, so it is probably going to be here. No, and it's here. This is a utility subsystem. This will fill up your virus coherence, and not your strength, your coherence. It will self-repair. You can click this when you're damaged, but actually if you have still space, you can already click it, and it will work with every click you make until it is depleted. So it increases it even. Oh, there's another one above your base. There's the core. This was very easy. Gonna break the core, open the cargo, and have 400,000. That's mine. I'm gonna move to the other one. Gonna hit a quick burst of the afterburner. So I'm already in range. Hit the data analyzer again. There's one here or here. This gives me a range of 2. Defeated this one, range of 1. So this means here is a new node that will help me. Possibly. Oh, it's even the core. This was a super easy side. Yeah, usually this is much more complicated. Well, not in 05, maybe much more, but if you get to wormholes or 00, this will be very complicated. So, well, the site is run and done, so this was kind of easy. So, I hope this helps for an introduction. F10, for instance, it's still in the same position. I just remove the probes again to the new, and go to the probing window, hit scan or analyze again, and we'll figure out the next one. So once you're done, do not forget to recover active probes. Always a tiny issue, and then maybe you can get both at the same time. And then just right click or drag and drop from your inventory the probes back into the launcher. So you can do this before in between cloaks, for instance, while you're hacking. You recall them and put them both at the same time. I'm not gonna run the hideout, but well, we can run the relic side too, since this was so short. So recover active probes, reload, can close the probing window, and warping out. It's a beautiful ship. This is actually with a skin, an extra skin. It is usually white. I can change it if anyone wants to see. Go to the skin tab, deactivate, and this is the classic Astero. So this is a little bit further apart, so I'm going to use the micro drive. In high sec, there's usually more profit to run data sites. The relic sites aren't very good, and also all the nodes, the towers, are very far apart. So you actually might want to fit a micro warp drive, which I did. I usually only have the afterburner, but yeah, the distances are very, very great. Sometimes 40, 50 kilometers between them, and they have, like you can see, very little. This was actually a really good one, but usually they have very crappy loot and just the standard carbon crap. So let's go to the next one. And with afterburner, this would be a lot of travel time, and if this would be in low sec, you don't want to spend all this time in be visible with the prop mod on, but also you don't want to slow boat while being cloaked. So yeah. Relic sites are, though, the best ones in 0.0. You can get up to 80 million kind of, could be like a casual relic site, and I have had some with like 300 million in it. The only benefits the data sites give there is that they can have, oh, this was like a whole circle, blueprints, which can be worth a lot. Oh, this is actually a good site. It might probably have just been spawned now. I sometimes feel like freshly spawned sites have more loot. Well, I actually did not check for the name. Sometimes there's like a monument or something, crystal monument. They usually have good loot, but I think they're only like in 0.0 no sec or low sec. And of course you can always like, or you should, when you're at the node and you take some time hacking, deactivate your prop mod, because you know your signature blooms, so you're very easy to hit and to probe down. So if you want to avoid probing, you can use mods that will automatically reduce your signatures, and it will be very hard to probe down. And it can, of course, my skills are very good, but it can be as quick as this, and you can be on your merry way and hit the prop mod once and then activate cloak, and you'll be gone from the system and nobody can see you, and then you just head out for another. But I will run, of course, these haunted yard sites now, and well, I hope this was okay for you for a video. Bless.